I would recommend Studyiq mock interview very highly, and the experience was very good. The arrangement of the institute and the coordination of the faculty members, they were really good.
Yes, it was a good experience and I recommend it to others as well.
I will highly recommend everyone who is preparing for civil service, especially for interview.
My overall experience was very nice. I would highly recommend people to give mocks here.
The quality of board members were very good. So yes, I will definitely recommend it.
Definitely the interview experience was very good.
It was an overall nice experience, and yes, I would be recommending it to others as well.
Yes, ma'am, certainly.
Yes, I would recommend.
I would definitely recommend.
I will recommend you highly that you should have once a conversation in Studyiq as well.
May I come in, sir?
Please come.
May I sit, sir? Thank you so much.
You can sit when we ask to sit.
Yes, sir.
Isha Rani.
Right,
Isha
sir.
Rani. What's meant by Isha?
Sir.
What's the meaning of your name?
Sir, Isha etymologically has been derived from the Sanskrit word ish, which means to lead. So, to lead.
Lead.
Yes, sir. So, Isha essentially means a leader. And spiritually, it has also been associated with the divine energy of Goddess Parvati.
Oh, very good. You have done law.
Sir.
Very tough subject. Law. Be honest in law.
I tried my best, sir.
I will ask you a question about, selection of the Chief Election Commissioner and the Election Commissioners. Because there is a little controversy over the appointment of these constitutional authorities. What exactly is the controversy about?
Sir, actually, Article 324 provides for election commissioner, chief election commissioner and the other election commissioners to be appointed by the president. There is a legislative vacuum which existed in the article itself. The constitution makers propounded that the act would be brought in, but government did not do that, and that is what the Supreme Court in the landmark case of Anup Baranwal versus Union of India pointed out, that there should be a broad-based committee which should include Chief Justice, the Prime Minister, the Leader of Opposition, to select the Chief Election Commissioner of our country. And this is what it was decided. However, when the government bought the law, the CJI, the Honorable CJI, was removed from the commission, and rather a minister was appointed, and in this case the Home Minister, Honorable Home Minister of our country.
Now there is this law has been challenged in the Supreme Court. What exactly are the grounds on which this has been challenged?
So the challenge, which is under Jaya Thakur versus Union of India, so the challenge basically states that the law which government made, it contravenes the ratio which has been propounded by the Supreme Court, that is the non-inclusion of Honorable CJI itself. So the question, the judicial question in this judgment in the upcoming case is whether the government has the power, the parliament has the power to bypass Supreme Court when it is a judgment of constitutional bench.
But then, the order given by the Supreme Court was an interim one. They made it very clear in the judgment. Until Parliament makes a law. So that means Parliament has all the powers to make a law. There is no question of bypassing it. Do you think the Parliament was bypassing the Supreme Court direction or what?
Sir, I believe it all depends upon the ratio of the case and the arbiter of the case. If Supreme Court intended that the part where the judgment has to be operative, then it was definitely bypassing. However, it was mere recommendatory that unless a law comes in, then the Parliament is within its right to make a law like that.
So what is your opinion? Was it an obiter or was it a part of the order?
Sir, I believe it was an interim order.
Yes.
Sir.
Lokpal, Justice Khanvilkar, passed an order saying that the High Court judges, within their jurisdiction, they can take action or can suggest action against a High Court judge because he comes within the definition of person under the, the anti-corruption thing. Do you agree with this Khanvilkar's proposition or what?
Sir, we have to see this legally again. The judgment basically said that the judges of the High Court or the High Court itself is constituted under the Act of the state.
Which act of the state constitutes the High Court?
Sir, I think the construction of the High Court is within the Act of the state, but it is a constitutional body.
That's what I'm saying. So what is the ground on which this proposition has been advanced by the Lokpal, that this is High Court is set up under a statute? There's a statutory, so judges are statutory persons.
Sir,
so they come under the jurisdiction of the Prevention of Corruption Act. But it's a very it's a difficult proposition to accept, no?
Sir, I concur with your opinion, and I believe your opinion has been...
You are speaking like a lawyer. I concur.
My apologies, sir.
No, it's okay. I was saying this in a lighter vein. Okay then, thank you.
You're from Bihar.
Sir.
They say it is one of the most sort of, I think, backward states. What are the main 2-3 reasons you can?
Sir, Bihar itself is not backward, humbly I would like to state. There are certain infrastructural issues, institutional issues, which has crept in our state for so long, and we are trying to get over it. Few of the points that I would like to highlight that why Bihar...
No, I mean to say social issues.
Sir, socially, sir, there are still issues related to women. The women empowerment front, the government has done so much, but the society is still, there is a backwardness, there is a sense of patriarchy, women are still in bounds. That has to change, sir. Apart from that, sir, in society there is I believe, sir, there is still quite a lot of casteism in Bihar, which permeates in the social, political as well as economic life of Bihar and in the mindset of general masses. And sir, third, I would like to state, sir, the social disputes that happen, sir, especially related to land disputes. Sir. The land, it's quite fragmented. There is very less availability of land.
The move at the government national level to digital records, sir, of land are being prepared. Bihar is doing something about it?
Sir,
digitalization.
Sir, could you please repeat?
The land is being owners are being given digital information of their land. Something is being done in Bihar about it so that the case is settled once for all.
So the government last year started land digitization program in Bihar. However, it could not come to the conclusion because there was oppositions from all the section of the society, sir. Sir, this is because of the lack of land records which are there. The multiple layers of cases which has been filed on the same piece of land. The same piece of land has been given to, there are lots of entitlements and claims on the same land, sir.
Okay, some disputes are there from long back. Jammu, you are from Jammu. Jammu is one of the districts affected by Naxalism. There are various state districts of Bihar affected by Naxalism. Why it is so?
Sir, I do concur that Jammu is affected by Naxalism. However, it has reduced substantially. There are still some traces in the hinterlands. That is
the cause of Naxalism in your state or in certain parts of your state.
Right.
What are the causes?
The first cause is obviously, sir, the development deficit which is in the hinterlands. The second is the predominance of the tribal population in those areas, and there is a lack of connection with the mainland people in the Jammu districts also. That has been the major reason, sir. Apart from that, there is also infrastructural issues, the road connectivity, the hospitals, the education institutes that are not there. There is a failure on the government part that has, they have not been assimilated in Jammu district. And lastly, sir, I would like to highlight that there is a distinction between the Naxalism.
Bihar has some development also has taken place. It has a number of international airports. Government is doing making international airports to attract tourists from other countries. Can you name some?
Certainly, sir. Certainly, there are multiple of good things which are there in Bihar. Sir, I believe Darbhanga and Muzaffarpur, these places, and also Bihta is a proposed area where the international airport is going to take place in Bihar.
What about Bodh Gaya?
So that the international airport already exists.
It is already there?
Yes, it is already there.
Okay. Please.
Isha, when we talk about, there are three main challenges to the internal security. LW is one of them. Majumdar, the propounder of the LWE, cadre which is active in these areas, which sir has asked the question, you listed out the reasons for the emergence of left-wing extremism. But number of cadres in LWE, they are rich, they are educated. So then your proposition, how does it hold valid? Because of infrastructure issues, because of lack of development, because of poverty. How do you justify that?
Sir, I believe I was talking specifically relating to Bihar. So those issues are there in Bihar.
I am talking in case of Bihar only. Don't you think it is more of an ideological contestation whereby LWE undermines the constitutional mechanism of India, the national character? What are your views on that?
Sir, I certainly agree, sir. Our Honorable Prime Minister Manmohan Singh also once said that India's biggest threat is that of left-wing extremism, sir. So the ideological cropping up that you have said, it has been funded both internationally as well as internally. Like government also past few years they have been calling out urban Naxals who are providing ideological as well as logistic and financial base. These are people who come from high intellect. So I definitely agree, sir, there are certain intellectual underlying current in this, sir. But at the same point of time, we should also realize who are the people who are being weaponized. So these people, they come from lower strata. They come from the place where there is a development deficit, sir. So there is a culmination of factors that we need to recognize.
All right. Now coming back to the India-China relations, how do you see the trajectory, especially after the Trump has taken over? Do you think this 21st century is going to be the century of Asia? And if that be the case, what role do you visualize for India and China, given the disputes between the two big countries?
So like you said that the President Trump has taken up the office, he has shaken the entire world with his policies, sir. Especially there is a tendency in President Trump to strike a grand bargain, especially with China, which was not in the previous regime, sir. They always had a hands-off approach with China and a hostile approach. But President Trump has shown a...
Sorry, you called Biden's as a regime, previous regime. Is this the right characterization of a elected government?
It is not, sir. My apologies, sir.
Okay, please.
Biden government, sir.
Yeah.
So in the present term government, President Trump has showed a willingness to have a deal with China, sir. And in that case, India has to be very vigilant, because we have border skirmishes with China. However, the positive things with us, sir, is that we have reduced that. There has been de-escalation and there has been agreement on the border, because we have recognized the fact that we need China for foreign investment. There is a growing trade relationship, sir, that cannot be something that we cannot let go of, sir. So that is why India needs to be very vigilant. We need to bilaterally deal with China and United States. There could not be a very hostile approach towards China. At the same point of time, we should not give concession which undermine our national security, sir.
China has been equipping Pakistan in Gilgit, Baltistan and Skardu areas, infrastructure development, deployment of radars, in the development of the airstrip. So hostile, if you are not hostile to a country which is equipping your enemy, there are everyday skirmishes on the LOC. How do you balance this?
Sir, the LOC, sir, it is a problem, it is a concern for us for so long, sir. And we realize that there is an involvement of China in Pakistan, sir. But on our front, what we can do, we can ramp up our infrastructure, our strategic deterrence. That is what we should do, so that there is a fear or there is a caution in the mind of countries like China and Pakistan that India is that capable, that if we do anything like that, there would be a retaliation, sir. And for that, we need to amp up our technology, our cyberspace domain and entire security complex, sir.
Thank you.
Hello, Isha.
Hello, ma'am.
So you, while answering to sir, that what are the social issues that impregnate Bihar and make it backward, you said patriarchy and caste. Tell me two states where these are not the case.
Ma'am, I would say there is not a single state, rather the entire world.
So what would be your answer that is more peculiar of Bihar?
Ma'am, I think how deeply entrenched that is. Like, I would say that it has been weaponized, not just by the society, but with the political classes also, as for example, the caste. The way that it took ugly turn in Bihar, I think that is something that we need to recognize.
So why are Indians so obsessed with caste?
Again, ma'am, I think it is because of the mentality as well as the politicization, ma'am.
Nothing to do with the history?
Yes, ma'am. I would say, ma'am, I believe that the caste system, there was an adulteration in the very pious Varna system in our country because of multiple foreign influences as well as the degradation in our society also, which has led to the present situation, ma'am.
Okay. So your father's name is Prasiddh Narayan. Can you tell me the 10 avatars of Vishnu?
Ma'am, Lord Krishna, the Varha avatar, that is the boar avatar, Lord Rama, I guess. Ma'am, Prashuram, God Prashuram.
Sure.
That is what I can recall right now, ma'am.
Okay. And Jayanti Kumari, which goddess do we refer to as Jayanti?
Goddess Durga, ma'am.
And you're also a skincare enthusiast.
Right, ma'am.
So what would you prefer, retinol or peptide serum? And why?
Ma'am, it would depend upon. For me right now, I think peptide would be a better thing because I think once I cross 30, then retinol is something that I would use. Peptide is more moisturizing. It boosts up my collagen. So it is more protective in nature. So rather I would choose that.
So it is just on the basis of age that you're deciding for peptide?
I would also go and see my face in the mirror, ma'am. If I have some kind of wrinkles or there is a sogginess in my skin, then I would switch to retinol.
Read more on this, okay? Because when you say that you're a skincare enthusiast, you need to know the integrities of these things, right? You can't just say commonsensical answer,
okay?
Right? So, snail mucin.
Yes, ma'am.
It's very trending skincare product these days. Do you think that it is ethically extracted?
Ma'am, the claims that comes from the Korean industry, they say that snail are put in non-stress environment. So they biologically secrete the mucin. There is no harm, there is no intervention in their environment. They are not physically harmed, they are not also psychologically harmed, and that is when the extraction is done. So to that extent, I believe, ma'am, it is ethical.
And is there any other use of snail mucin other than cosmetics?
Ma'am, I am aware about the cosmetic value, the humectant value, the moisturizing value of snail mucin.
All right. So you are a trained lawyer and that very well shows in your personality also. So why not Indian Corporate Law Service as your second or first preference? Why IFS and IAS? And your father is also a practicing lawyer.
Ma'am, I could think of two reasons. The first reason is that my inclination towards IAS, IPS or foreign services, ma'am. This is what I wanted to do. The second reason would be the corporate law itself, ma'am. I was really not good in corporate law.
All right. So tell me, what two qualities of yours would make you a good candidate for IAS and IFS?
Ma'am, I would like to state two, like you said. The first is the leadership quality, ma'am. Throughout my school, my college, somewhere or other, I have been involved in certain events, organizational skills. I believe, ma'am, that I have a ability to bring towards warring factions when there are ego clashes, and I could build a consensus. That is what I have experienced in my life, in my college days. The second being my perseverance, ma'am. I think I am persistent. Even in the cases of adversity, I try to make sure that the outcome comes, even if it has to take a toll on myself only.
Good. Why not Indian legal dramas? Do we have a dearth of them?
Ma'am, I wouldn't say that we have a dearth on them, but I would say that there is a lack of diversity, the lack of quality, the lack of fast-pacedness, which I like in American legal drama. They are very much law-oriented, and the Indian dramas are still not that. But I would also like to state that there are certain dramas which are coming up now, be it The Court, Jai Bhim, these kind of dramas where the actuality of the court proceedings has been adopted.
All right. Thank you, Isha.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, now you can wait outside. We will call you in 2 minutes.
Sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See, I must tell you that you are fairly articulate, and you speak with confidence. You have to widen your knowledge base and strengthen it a little more,
So,
That's the general opinion of the board here. So you have to work a little more hard during these days, and you get enough of time, That thing, so that's a good thing in your favor. Otherwise, of course, you are a good candidate, no doubt about it. You speak with a lot of confidence and all that, and sometimes we feel that it's a little overconfidence also, a little, what they call a little hubris or something. And then, I would advise you not to nod too much.
सीधे बैठो, सीधे बैठो, आराम से बैठो, आराम से. That's right.
Your
Very
whole
good.
body, as if it is participating in the discussion. So that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You should remain quiet, calm. Your body should be at rest, and your mind also should be at rest, should be relaxed, so that you listen to the question which is coming, get the thrust of the question. So that's the most important thing. Every question has a kernel, catch that, try to answer that in as few words as possible. No, don't give a very long answer. That is it. The board members, may not have the patience to listen to all that you say. Catch the kernel of the question, the crux of the question, then start answering it. That is the thing. Without, of course, too much of shaking your head and body and all that. Everything. We feel that everything is participating in the whole. When you speak.
Yes, sir.
That shouldn't happen. Control that. For that, the best exercise will be to sit in front of a mirror, speak, and prepare some questions, and try to answer those questions in front of a mirror. Then you will know, about these problems. Then you can slowly get over that. You get enough time. So I think you will do well, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
आप थोड़ा डेटा लेके आओ चीज़ों का. जैसे नक्सलिज्म हमने पूछा या बैकवर्ड, आपने बैकवर्ड हर चीज़ को यू आर आंसरिंग बाय द डेफिसिट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, बैकवर्डनेस, दिस. यू ब्रिंग सम डेटा.
Okay, sir.
Literacy, health, connectivity, even policing, you didn't mention at all about policing.
And then don't get into some controversial kind of formulations, That also you can avoid. It's a very neutral kind of position.
So, for example, what controversial?
आपने tribal बोला, tribal. Usually you show the tribal book.
Patriarchy and all that, it is there in every state. It is very much there. So that is the thing.
So may I add on, Gitanjali, just have the conceptual clarity with respect to the national security issues, Isha.
Yes, sir.
The red corridor is running through the statement you quoted of Honorable former Prime Minister of India, Manmohan Singh ji. On the floor of the House, he has said there are 7 states which are impacted. Fundamental is that it is the ideological contestation. Then you may like to add, sir, the areas affected, there are other factors also. One more important input to you when the sir asked the questions, backwardness is Bihar. Nobody is characterizing Bihar as a backward, and there is no need to contest with the interview board. It will go against you.
Okay, sir.
Bihar is an integral part of our motherland. So when he is saying backwardness, he is definitely referring to the issues which you conceived, which you understood. No need to this confrontation, sir, that Bihar is not backward. We are not calling Bihar. We appreciate your that sense of belongingness, and it has to be there. But I would again say, have the conceptual clarity, read more on these issues, and the topical when you are going for interview, the current affairs, etc. Gitanjali, please.
Isha, you have a very strong personality. Okay, very strong personality, and which is very unlike of girls of your age, right? So you should take it into your advantage, right? Instead of taking it against you. You know how? At times when you are arguing with the board, you need to be more polite. You need to use words like please, sir, ma'am, more often. right? Because this personality can very well go against you. Very well go against you. It can make you come across as a person who doesn't want to listen to others. Don't give that impression. Try and practice more and more in front of the mirror. That would really help you. And try and speaking with other people as to how they perceive you while you're talking would also help. Okay, that is one. Second is, if you've written anything as your hobby or interest in your DAF, you need to have a complete hold of that subject matter. You can't really say that I'll look at myself in the mirror and I'll decide. Okay, you need to know the chemical compositions of these cosmetics.
No, I don't know the chemical. Maybe I would not be able to answer it properly.
Why that happens? Because you don't take a pause. You need to take a pause after question is over. Articulate your thoughts in your head first. Okay, make the pointers here first before you speak, and that doesn't take very long. It would be done within 10-15 seconds.
Okay.
So that pause would help you, because I could understand from the second question, snail mucin, that you know things, but you're not able to put them in front of the board because you're not thinking enough. So think more deeply. You know things, but what you lack right now is articulation, but you have a lot of time. Right? Practice as much as you can. You're a very good candidate. This personality would definitely work in your favor if you practice a little more. Okay?
Surely, ma'am.
All the best.
You are going to wear sari, there is a good choice. Understand? और जैसे फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर वो बजट में डाल के गई थी वो मधुबनी मेक ए स्टेटमेंट. Understand? So I mean otherwise presentable, no problem. But think. You take 1 minute or so, no problem. Kindly, can I have 1 second?
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. All the best.
Thank you so much.